and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. My name is Silka and today I'm going to be doing my TBR for the 2022 Buzzword Readathon. So this is a readathon that I stumbled upon recently that is done by Kayla over at Books and Lala, and it sounds so fun, so I wanted to join. I am going to be doing things a little bit differently because you were supposed to start in January. I had seen the readathon at that point, but I hadn't decided whether or not I wanted to do it. I think I had mainly decided against it. I then decided to do it anyways, and just, instead of doing one book per month or every book in 1 month, I am just gonna set a TBR of books that I have to read throughout the year in order to complete this readathon. There were some of these prompts that were harder for me to fulfill, and I actually do have one prompt where I don't own a single book that matches the prompt. So I'm gonna have to go to the library, but I would also really like your suggestions as to what you think I should read. I am very into fantasy, so any fantasy that would fit, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the prompt where I need help. I think without further ado, we should just get started because we do have some books to talk about. The first book, the January prompt, is pronouns. Nope, it's not. It's the 5 W's. I didn't have much to choose from actually, and I actually ended up going with Where Dreams Descend by Janila Angelis. I am so excited to read this book and I've been wanting to for so long, so this obviously had to go on this TBR because I guess that will maybe push me to actually read it. So here we are, Where Dreams Descend. I'm not going to give a summary for these books because there are 12 to talk about, or at least 12 prompts to talk about, so I'm just going to talk about why I put it on here and also how it fits with the prompt, because some are a little bit more, let's call it, abstract. But I am going to link all the books down below so that you can go check them out yourself. Next up we have pronouns, and I decided to go with We Hunt the Flame, where we would be a pronoun. I have wanted to read this ever since I got it, but there has just always been other books that I was more intrigued by than this one, and especially now with the sequel out, I want to get into this book, so that is why I am adding this to my TBR. I am also going to say that if by the end of the year I haven't read every single book on this TBR, but I have read other books that fits the prompt where I haven't read the books, I am going to count them instead, because just as long as I fulfill the prompt, I feel like I've succeeded. So even though these might not be the final books, I'm still going to go for the prompts. So I hope that's fine. Next up we have March, which is locations, and this one was actually one where I had a couple of books to choose from. I have a lot of books where kingdom is a part of the title or those kind of things. I also debated picking Land of Stories because I do want to reread that, but I decided against it because I kind of want to focus less on rereading things that I have completed. So I have completed the entirety of Land of Stories, and I do want to dedicate like a reading vlog or something to it eventually, but I'm just not there yet because I do have a bunch of other series that I want to give my time and try and finish those. And one of them is School for Good and Evil by Simone Chinani. This is the third book in the series. The School for Good and Evil is the location because that is where the story takes place. I am actually really excited to continue with this series. I think this will be turned into a TV show or a movie or something, and I'm also really excited for that. So I feel like catching up with the series is a priority of mine. So I'm gonna pick this for the prompt of location. The next prompt, the prompt for April, is Big and Little. I have one book that fits. Maybe I'm just not creative enough when it comes to finding words that could mean big or little, but I just don't really feel like I have anything. So I went with A Million Little Pieces by James Frey. I don't know how well you can actually see the cover of this. The cover is just stunning. I really like it. I have no idea what this is about. I think it's a memoir. I have like no idea what this is about, but I'm gonna add it because it's the only book I have that fits the prompt. Then we have May and we have Directions. I know I have East, but I kind of don't want to read that. If I end up reading it, obviously I'm gonna use that. This might be a little bit of a stretch, but I went with Into the Wild by John Krakauer, I think. So Into. is apparently a direction in my head. So it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm gonna count it. I am excited to read this. I really enjoyed the movie, and I am excited to see what the book is. And now we are coming to the prompt where I don't own anything, and that is the June prompt where the word all has to be in the title. I don't have that. I think I've gone through my shelves multiple times and I just cannot find anything where the word all is in the title. So if you have any recommendations for fantasy books, I would prefer it to be fantasy with the word all in the title, please let me know, and then I will try to go to my library and see what I can find. Then we have July, which is a book related word. I went with this one, which is the Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver, and Bible reminds me only of books. So I went with this. I have no idea what this is about. I just know that my uncle recommended it to me, and now I'm kind of excited to see if I like it. Here we are. The Poisonwood Bible is going on my TBR. If you read this, please let me know like what you think. And that goes for everything on my on this TBR, because a lot of it is stuff that is very out of my comfort zone, or not a lot, but some of it are things that are very out of my comfort zone, and I would like to know what people have thought of those books, so please let me know. Next up we have August, which is an item in the title. I went with Crown of Midnight. I really want to continue this series, and Crown is an item, so I decided to pick this. Then we have the September prompt, which is dark or light, and anything that kind of relates to those words. I went with A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. This is a book that I am 100% certain that I will get to this year. I am really excited for it, and I just need to fit it on my TBR. I just have a feeling that I'll really like it, so I want to read it sooner rather than later. Then we have October, which is creatures and animals, and I decided to go for The Dragon and the Queen by Caitlin Davis. This is the third book in the Raven and the Dove series, and I'm so excited. I am very intrigued as to how this will continue the series, and also I'm really excited for the fourth one, which will hopefully be coming out this year. We haven't been giving a specific date, but it should be 2022. But I'm gonna go for this, and dragon will be the creature in question. Next up we have November, which is ing, like ing, so something that ends with that. At first I was like, okay, I don't have anything that matches. I do have something. I have two books, and I'm not really interested in either. So we'll see what I go for. The first one is Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman. This is like short stories, I believe. I don't know. I might read this because it's short stories, because the other one, I don't know. This is one where I actually really want your opinion. Should I read this one, Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman, or should I read Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik? I think I've heard very mixed things about this, but I also know that this is like Russian inspired, and I freaking love that. So let me know what you think, if I should read Trigger Warning or Spinning Silver. And finally we have the December prompt, which is a book with numbers, and I just decided to go for the 100 day 22, so we have double up on numbers. This is the second book in the 100 series, and I want to continue. This is also the other book in the series that I have already read, so this will be a reread, but I haven't read the last two and I want to. I'm gonna add this and also the rest of the books in that series to my Buzzword TBR. That was it. I'm sorry that it was so brief and that I didn't really talk about the books. Going into a summary about 12 different books is just a little bit too much, and I'm not in the mood for that right now. So I just kind of showed you the books and why I wanted to read them and why I picked them, and then I'll go into detail about them when I've actually read them. I think that that was it for now. I'm honestly excited about this pile. There's a bunch of books that I wouldn't have picked had they not been like the only books that would fit the prompt. So I'm kind of excited to see what I think about those, and yes. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment telling me, first of all, recommendations for the all prompt, and also if I should pick Trigger Warning or Spinning Silver. If you like this video, please hit the like icon, and if you want to see more of my bookish content, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and also if you want to be notified every single time that I post, you can hit the little bell icon, and it would just mean the world to me. And until I see you next time, bye!